Hi, guys. So I wanted to give you a resource for what we went over in the first day of our leadership council. The first order of business is, that's what I'm calling it. We need a name. So come up with something if you'd like, if you're creative. It can be an acronym, it can be an abbreviation. We can leave it as the Chiefs Leadership Council. But if this is successful and we like this, then this is something we'll do year after year. And you guys are the first cohort going through it. So you should get to name it. So if you think of a name, let me know. Next, every idea is a good idea. We're going to do brain dumps. And that's the whole concept of like, you're thinking of something, I'm going to set aside time for you to do it. And like, don't, if a thought pops into your head, write it down. It doesn't have to be sentences. You can do it in bullet form. You can write all over the cards that you have. You're going to need an index card and a pen. So on one side of the index card, you're going to write on the top, teams need good leaders because, and we'll do this in real time. So do this now. I'm going to give you the time to do it as if we were all meeting together, but obviously we're not. So on top of your index card, teams need good leaders because. When you have that written down, you're going to flip the card over and right at the top, someone is a good leader when they. Someone is a good leader when they blank. Again, write it down. I'll give you a second. Okay, so we'll start with the side that you're on. Someone is a good leader when they. No idea is a bad idea. Oops. 2 minutes. Ready? Go. So that was 2 minutes. You get maybe 10 or 15 seconds to wrap up any thoughts that you have. And then we're going to do the same thing. So flip the card over. 2 minutes. Teams need good leaders because blank. Okay. Same thing. 2 minutes. On your mark, get set, go. Teams need good leaders because. So that was 2 minutes. If you need another 10 or 15 seconds to wrap up some thoughts, take it. So those were the things that we did at the first meeting. And then what I had everybody do, and if you're doing this with a teammate or a friend, you guys can do it, was they went around and kind of circled the things that they had in common. So like if someone is a good leader when if I said communicate and my partner next to me said listens to me, that kind of falls in the same wheelhouse. So we would both kind of circle communicate or listens to me. And I'm curious. So someone is a good leader when they are. This was kind of the lists that we came up with, or that first group came up with. So I don't know if it's backwards or forwards for you guys. It says inclusive, good role model, dedicated to the team, positive and encouraging, confident, and communication. So someone is a good leader when they're inclusive, a good role model, dedicated to the team, positive and encouraging, confident, and communication. And they actually starred communication and inclusive as like if it was America's Got Talent, like those are the ones that have to advance. Those are the big ones. So people who communicate, good leaders communicate, and good leaders are inclusive. So that was the things that were most in common for that idea. And then teams need good leaders because I'll read you this list again. I don't know if it's backwards or not. Good leaders, teams need good leaders because they make everyone feel comfortable and included. They motivate and achieve success. They unify the team in and out of soccer. They offer conflict resolution and they make decisions. And again, the gold star here was inclusive. So for that group that night, we kind of all agreed, or they all kind of agreed that inclusivity was really important when you're a leader, is to reach out and make everybody feel comfortable and welcome in our team atmosphere. So that's leadership for now. For now, that definition is going to evolve and change, and that's kind of the point of this. The other thing we talked about that doesn't get talked about a lot is followership. And the way I like to explain followership is we've all been there and done that, where you've tried to get someone to do something. Maybe it's a kid you're babysitting or a parent or a teammate or a teacher or whoever. And you say like, hey, come on, let's go. And they shrink, right? And you're met with crickets and they don't do the thing you wanted them to do. And it's awkward. And like, they don't want to follow you. It's very clear. And we've been on the other side of the spectrum. So think about a time that may have happened to you. On the other side of the spectrum, think about when you did that to someone and offered them some type of leadership and they very enthusiastically followed you there. So again, a kid, a teacher, a parent, whoever, where they like are like, yeah, good idea. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And they jump to follow you. They're enthused to follow you. I think it's fair to define that type of follower as a good follower, like someone who's enjoyable to have to lead. So another 2 minutes. This is your last brain dump. Things that make a good follower. And again, if you're with people, do this with people. We did this as a bigger group where they just shouted things out and I wrote them down. So you get another 2 minutes. What makes a good follower? Answer that question for me. Ready? 2 minutes. Go. That was 2 minutes. Take 10 or 15 seconds if you got to wrap up some thoughts on what makes a good follower. So I'll just share with you guys what we had written down on this list. Again, it was just kind of people shouting at me, so I wrote things down on the fly. Good followers are enthusiastic. They bring energy. They have good eye contact and body language. They're collaborative. They listen. They pick you up. They're nice. They compromise. They're receptive. They're confident. They promote what you want. They're fun. They appreciate themselves. They're attentive. They're open-minded, and they are still a leader. So I won't read those all again. You can go back and replay it if you want to. What stuck out to me and what was kind of like an aha moment was the body language part to our kids of like realizing like, oh, when you're being led, like, and you're being a good follower, you lean in, your eyes light up. You're like, you can see like pupils dilate and people get excited and adrenaline rushes and they want to be part of whatever you're going to make out of this. So I found that really interesting. So we're going to make these super practical. And I want you to get a new index card or a piece of paper or a note on your phone or something that you can write down. And you're going to write, this week, I will practice being inclusive by blank. So start that sentence. This week, I will practice being inclusive by. And I'm going to get like really picky and specific about this because this is important. And there's good research that shows when we say we're going to do something, we don't always do it. But when we specifically designate when we're going to do something, we're much more likely to do it. So it's up to you what inclusive looks and sounds like. You know when you've been included in something and you know when you've not been included in something. So for our upperclassmen, it might be, I'm going to text one of the freshmen and see if they have any questions about being cleared. But being more specific with that, I'm going to text this specific freshman whose phone number I have or whose phone number I'll get from whoever on Wednesday at 4:00 to see if they have any questions about being cleared. Like, so when we did this with our group, like people said, I'm going to bring my coworker coffee tomorrow. Okay, which coworker? What do they like in their coffee? And what time tomorrow before I go to work? Okay, so I'm going to bring it to Kathy, and she likes an iced caramel latte at 8:00 tomorrow morning. Okay, challenge yourself. Write one, and then see if you can make it like almost outrageously specific. And there's a reason for that, and there's good research behind that. So think about it. I'll give you about a minute to think about it. I won't put the timer up, but I'll just do it on my watch here. Go ahead. You got about 10 seconds. Okay, beautiful. If you want feedback on that, just send it to me and I'll happily advise you or point you in a direction if you need help. And then on the other side of that index card, or you can split it in half if you'd like, you're going to finish this sentence, which is, this week I will practice being a good follower by. And those words that we went over, those words in your own brain dump, enthusiasm comes to mind or body language comes to mind. Be super specific about how you're going to practice being a good follower. I'm going to look my mom and dad in the eye when they're talking to me. I'm going to lean in when I get excited about something that my sister's brought up. I'm going to congratulate a teammate after they text me they finish a workout. I'm going to comment on somebody's Instagram something encouraging towards them. Whatever it might be. 30 seconds. Go ahead. Okay. So that's it. If you do this, write your stuff down, bring that index card with you. We're going to call it an accountability card that says what you're going to do this week. That's the one requirement for this, is that you bring those cards back every single week. I'll give you a new card to write your own stuff down. But the point is that you guys set the standard here. You tell yourself what you're going to do, and I'm just going to help hold you accountable towards doing those things. All right. So that's it. If you have any questions, drop me a line. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for spending some time with me today. Keep getting better every day.